everybody. So I've had this Xymox pad for about 6 months, and I thought it would be a good idea to do a follow-up review and just sort of talk about it in an unbiased atmosphere, because when you first get something new and you do a review on it, you're pretty excited about it, so you are going to say really good things about it, and you're not going to really talk about the bad things a lot. So just going to talk about what I've experienced, what my opinions are, and what I've sort of kind of realized through these past 6 months. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the bad news first before we get into the good. The biggest problem this pad has is you just get tired of it. I mean, when this is like your only pad, you don't really have another choice. But for someone like me who has like 8 drum pads, I have a lot of pads. You kind of jump around pads. I would play on my Invader for like 3 weeks straight because I just love the way it feels. But then I would say, oh, I'm really tired of just that plain plasticky sound, and I would come to my Xymox to get the snare sound that I wanted. And so yeah, just the feel gets old, just the feel of the laminate and the Kevlar. You just want something new. You just want to pad hop, I guess you can call it. Another thing is it's pretty heavy. When I try to take this places, like I'll take it to the beach and I'll put it in a backpack. It could be lighter. So my cat has decided to join the video. So like I was saying about the heaviness, you put it in a backpack and you just you feel that weight, I understand that a lot goes into this pad, and weight is pretty much the last thing that they're concerned about. But that's just my personal opinion. It's just pretty heavy. Another thing is the paint on the back side where the snare beads go. Mine used to be white. I talked about it in my first video, and it chipped literally 10 minutes after making that video. My thumbnail accidentally hit it when I was gonna put the sponge back in, and it chipped. So I got myself some chip resistant spray paint that just happened to be black, and I spray painted the plate black as well as the lugs. I just think that looks cooler. I should have ordered black, but then again, if I did get the black, it would have chipped and I would have just painted over it anyways. So the paint on the back, if you don't want to buy extra paint, just be careful with it. Or if you're just not OCD like I am about this kind of stuff, I mean, who cares? If your paint chips, you probably won't care, but I care. So another thing is the metal tension rods, whatever you want to call them, the tension holders on the back where the lugs go in, these little circles right here, they get rusty surprisingly quickly. One day I looked at it and they were all nice and silver and it looked great, and the next day there was little orange spots on every single one of them. So I took a Sharpie and I just sort of colored in on the circle, and that was a bad idea because I also got Sharpie on the wood of the pad, of the base that's like kind of around it, and I just wish that I didn't do that, and I also wish that they didn't rust. But again, it's on the back side of the pad, and if you don't really care about those things, then that isn't much of a concern to you. Alright, so the last thing that I have a problem with is the pad is too wet. What I'm talking about, if you don't know what that means, you might be saying, what is this guy talking about? Talking about the snare sound consistency and how snarey it sounds. So without the sponge, you get the snare sound, and with the sponge, you get absolutely no snare sound. It just sounds like you ordered a double-sided pad. Well, I wanted to try to find a happy medium, so see you later. So what I did was, I don't know if you can see it, but in the middle where the snare beads are, I put several pieces of paper. You could see some of the paper is coming out the sides, but I put paper there to try to dry out the sound, and I have probably close to 15 layers of paper, and it's still super wet. And you know, that, I mean, whatever. So I mean, it's not like that big of a deal, but you know, if you don't care, you don't care. So also another thing, it's not a good or bad thing, it's just more of a casual observation, but this pad sounds way better outside. When you're drumming inside, you get the extra snare echo and you just get the echo of your home, but when you're outside, the pad actually sounds really cool. Alright, so now I want to talk about the good stuff. Alright, first, the rim is super strong. Some of you may argue, yes, I've seen Xymox pads out there where the rim is cracked, but I think those belong to the people who mistreat their Xymox pads. Shots are cool. I like them. I write a lot of them when I write cadences and stuff, and the music I learn has a lot of them. And when I play shot, I play a shot. You know, when I play shots, you know, I play them out. So the rim has really held itself up for me. I actually moved the rim one space counterclockwise to where the stick holders are perpendicular to the pad, instead of it being at that 45-degree angle where my shots actually are. Another good thing about the pad that I really like is nothing rattles, besides the snare sound, but you know, like these rods, they hold in, you know, the rim doesn't move around. There's nothing really that has come loose that makes a rattling sound when you drum on it, other than the snare sound. But that's it's supposed to do that. That's its job. Another cool thing is the smudge and dent resistant laminate. You know, they advertise that a lot on these pads. They always talk about the clear laminate that goes over the Kevlar and makes some less marks and stuff. That is in fact true. This pad, like, you can see it in the light. See right there, you can see all the smudges and all the but there's no dents. You can't see any dents, but you can see marks and smudges in the light. But when you're not in the light, it's still nice and reflective, and it's got the cool color, whatever color your pad is. So I really like that, how they really held up their statements about it being mark resistant. And the last thing, and my most favorite, is that mom doesn't yell at you for drumming late because of these bad boys, the backside rubber. This is probably my favorite part about the entire pad, is it could be 10:30 at night and you could be chilling in your room, in your bed, or watching TV, and you'll come up with something in your brain and you'll want to drum it out. That way you don't forget it in the morning, because you want to make a lick out of it and you want to extend on your idea. And the backside rubber is something that really helps you with that. No one even knows. It's perfect, and I just love the way it feels. It's a really nice touch. So something that's not on the list I made that I do want to talk about, that I see a lot of complaints about, is this back little rectangle, whatever you want to call it, the thing you use to pull the back plate out. People are complaining because that breaks and stuff, and they're really mad about it. I haven't had any problems with mine. Mine's pretty secure, you know. When I'm drumming on the back rubber, I've accidentally hit it and I've expected it just to kind of knock off, and for the weld to break. But you know, I haven't had any problems with it, and I don't see why other people. I mean, again, it's probably belongs to those people that are mistreating their pads. So basically, the lesson here is just don't mistreat your pad, and it'll be fine. I mean, you're gonna get the scratches and the dents in the side. Everybody gets those on everything that exists in the world. Pretty much everything that can scratch will scratch. So that's just something that you got to get used to. If you get really pissed off about the scratches on your pad, I would say just get over it, you know, because it's gonna happen. So there it is. I hope you liked the video. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't like it, still press the like button and pretend like you liked it. Comment on the video if you have any questions. And if you haven't seen my first review video where I talked about it when it was brand new, opening out of the box and stuff, check out that video. The link will be right there. And it'll also be in the description down below. So share with your friends if they have any questions on the pad that you feel would be answered in this video, and I'll see you guys next time.